From Londonderry is urging other young people to put aside their embarrassment and talk about a serious condition that is increasing in their age group. She's enlisted the help of Fixers, the campaign that gives young people a voice to encourage more to seek diagnosis and early treatment.
On the 15th of March 2015, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And they told me that 7 out of 10 people would require surgery in the first 2 years. And I just left thinking, yeah, sure, that's just a statistic. But a week later, I was in hospital seeing the surgeon. Over the last year, I've spent around 100 days in hospital. My name's Jeanette Connor, I'm 26, and I'm from Londonderry. My Fixer project is raising awareness of Crohn's disease, but I want to highlight the positives, not just the negatives. Crohn's disease has really changed my life, and I spent a lot of time in hospital, but also I've held down a job, and I've realised just how good my friends and family are.
It just seemed as if you went in for a couple of days and then you just didn't get back out again.
I went in overnight and was there 6 weeks later. I didn't know if I was ever going to get home. But when it's your 8th admission in a year, it just becomes the normal. And that's actually really difficult because you never want your normal to be in hospital or people to not be surprised when you're there.
Crohn's disease is part of a spectrum of conditions called inflammatory bowel disease, not to be confused with irritable bowel syndrome. In Northern Ireland at the minute there are between 9,000 and 18,000 patients with inflammatory bowel disease. We know from data published recently in Europe that the incidence is increasing purely due to an increased number of Crohn's disease in younger patients. If you imagine having a severe gastroenteritis for days on end and feeling very sick, not absorbing your nutrients and not sleeping, you can imagine how awful you'll feel. That's what it's like for patients with Crohn's disease who have a flare. But whenever we get the patients better, sometimes the symptoms are very manageable and patients get on with a normal day-to-day life.
We're talking about 30 tablets. I take about 26 in the morning and 4 in the evening. But I always have to try and get up an extra 15 minutes earlier to leave enough time to take them all. The work has been one of my kind of safe places. It's been a continuity when everything else has kind of gone crazy. I'm about to move to a new job, but I feel that it's a real fear that I have to explain Crohn's all over again. People thought I had a stomach bug or had IBS or that I had something that was maybe contagious. It made me really nervous. I didn't know what to say to people. I didn't know how to bring it up in conversation. I'm making an animated film. I hope it makes people who are already suffering with the disease more confident to speak about it, but also just lets people know what it is. More and more young people are getting diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and I know there is awareness happening. It's still a disease that people don't really know a lot about.